The mining settlement on Epsilon 7 was never meant to be beautiful. Rows of pre-built domes sat scattered across a red, corroded wasteland, their only purpose to support humans who dug rare minerals from the planet's harsh crust. Dust storms were common, hope was limited, and survival depended on stubbornness more than comfort. For the past 3 years, Marcus Chan had been the colony's chief mechanic. He repaired air filters, drilling machines, power cores, anything that broke. With limited tools and endless improvisation, Marcus kept the colony alive. But nothing in his experience prepared him for repairing a dragon. The distress signal came from the western canyon. What remained at the site looked like a fresh wound carved into the land, a smoking crater surrounded by shattered rock. When Marcus arrived with the rescue crew, he found something that shattered every assumption he had about the universe. Lying amid the wreckage was a massive being nearly 4 meters tall, her body covered in shimmering scales that shifted between deep emerald and bright sapphire. She was a draconian, creatures spoken of in legends, ancient explorers rarely seen in this part of space. And she was badly injured. "I am Jarth," the dragon said weakly, her voice echoing like wine through stone tunnels. She explained that she was a star cartographer, mapping safe passages between distant systems. A mining explosion on Helios 9 had destroyed her navigation systems and taken her sight. Marcus studied her face carefully. Where her eyes should have been, there was only scar tissue and damaged optical nerves, sealed by advanced medical work that had saved her life, but not her vision. Draconian medicine was far beyond human technology, yet even it had failed her. Jarth had spent years drifting from world to world, seeking a cure, but every expert told her the same thing: the damage was permanent. She had been trying to reach the healing temples of Andromeda when her systems collapsed, sending her crashing onto Epsilon 7. As Marcus listened, his engineer's mind began racing. Instead of asking how to heal her eyes, he asked something different. What if sight didn't need eyes at all? Marcus barely slept for the next 4 days. He took over the colony's cargo bay and stripped it of anything useful. Quantum processors were removed from mining computers. Biometric scanners came from the medical wing. Neural interface chips were pulled from communication arrays. The other colonists whispered that Marcus had finally lost his mind, but they still helped. That was the unspoken rule of Epsilon 7. When something needed to be done, everyone pitched in. Jarth remained in the cargo bay as Marcus worked, the space becoming both workshop and laboratory. Between soldering wires and coding neural pathways, Marcus explained his thinking. Humans, he told her, were not born with perfect senses. Their eyes were weak compared to many species. So they invented tools: telescopes to see distant stars, microscopes to see invisible life, infrared sensors to detect heat, sonar to navigate darkness. Humans learned to see beyond their natural limits. Jarth listened closely. "Your kind compensates for weakness with creation," she observed. "We like to call it upgrading," Marcus replied with a grin. The device he finally built was unlike anything in the colony. A sleek visor of dark metal wrapped around Jarth's head, embedded with advanced sensors capable of detecting electromagnetic waves, radiation, heat, and quantum fluctuations. Neural pads connected directly to her damaged optical nerves, translating raw data into signals her brain could understand. When Marcus powered it on, Jarth froze completely. Then her massive body began to shake. Tears streamed down her scaled face. "I can see," she whispered. "Not just shapes or light, but everything." She saw heat patterns moving through walls, mineral veins glowing beneath the ground, and solar winds painting invisible colors across space. The universe unfolded before her in layers her species had never perceived. Marcus scratched his head awkwardly. He admitted he might have added too many features and pointed out a switch to reduce the input if it was overwhelming. "Too much," Jarth said, standing tall with newfound confidence. "This is revelation." For thousands of years, her people had studied the universe through limited sight. Marcus hadn't just restored her vision, he had expanded it. She could now see reality itself, energy and matter dancing together in ways no Draconian ever had before. 4 days later, warning alarms echoed across Epsilon 7. The sky fractured as 4 massive Draconian war cruisers emerged from hyperspace. Each ship was the size of a city, armed with weapons capable of shattering planets. Compared to them, the colony's defenses were meaningless. Humans rushed to the command center, fear written across every face. A powerful voice thundered across all channels. Fleet Commander Shorax of the Draconian Sovereignty demanded the return of their lost star cartographer and the surrender of those responsible for her capture. Marcus felt his chest tighten. They believed Jarth had been imprisoned. Before anyone could respond, Jartha's voice cut through the transmission. Calm. Commanding. Alive. She ordered the fleet to stand down and corrected their assumption. The humans were not captors, they were miracle workers. She told them how she had been found blind and broken, and how a human mechanic had given her something their greatest minds could not. Skepticism filled the silence that followed. Draconian technology was centuries ahead of humanity's. Such a feat should have been impossible. Then come and see, Jarth said. An hour later, Marcus stood face to face with 4 Draconian commanders, their towering forms radiating ancient power. They stared at the crude visor with disbelief as Marcus activated a holographic display showing its data streams. Layer by layer, reality unfolded: heat, radiation, electromagnetic fields, quantum noise, all converted into vision. The commanders were speechless. They admitted their scientists had tried and failed to create such an interface for decades. Marcus simply shrugged. No one had told him it couldn't be done. Shorax bowed before him. The Draconian Sovereignty offered wealth, territory, and technology in repayment. Marcus refused it all. Instead, he asked for respect, and star charts. Weeks later, the fleet departed, leaving behind alliances, knowledge, and a permanent embassy. Humanity gained no superweapon that day. It gained something better: recognition. And back in the garage bay, Marcus returned to repairing machines, his name now whispered across the stars as the human who taught dragons to see the universe in a new way.